Talk here briefly just about penetration scans and vulnerability scans. There is a difference, believe it or not. They are both used universally pretty much by many people, but there is a little bit of a difference, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So here we're just lining up a standard infrastructure, right? Your server, your storage, your network. We have UEFI, for example, that's controlling everything, right? Or the BIOS, whatever your system's using. And of course, we have firmware sitting all over the place within the environment, right? We may be delivering that architecture. We may be consuming it as a cloud resource somewhere, or we may have that resource as a local resource. Whatever the situation is, we need to make sure that it's secure at all times. And to do that, we're going to do it in multiple ways, right? And do multiple tests. Two of those are vulnerability scans and penetration tests. So a vulnerability scan, a common tool used would be Nessus, for example, widely accepted. And what it does is it looks at the entire system, everything within the system here, and of course much more than what we have here on the board, everything in the system, and it's going to look for holes in your system. It's going to look for open ports, open devices, things that are calling home. All of that is going to give us that information. Then we're going to say, okay, hey, look, that's really interesting, but I'm really interested in what's going on in that server. So I may take a real deep look at that server and say, hey, I'm going to do a deep scan on the UEFI, the firmware, the server environment as it sits. All of these things really focused on penetrating that environment, getting a deeper knowledge of that environment. So we have vulnerabilities that are looking for general vulnerabilities, open ports, things that are happening within the environment, and then we're doing a little deeper dive with penetration into these areas and being more specific. Now there are many ways to define vulnerability and penetration scans, but this is an easy way to kind of remember that we're just looking for vulnerabilities, soft spots in our cybersecurity plan that allow others to come in when they are not wanted.